So this is exactly how to scale your content agency to over $25,000 a month in just 4 months. So I'm going to break it down to you step by step. So if you're still below 5 figures a month, so on $10,000 a month, then you're most likely facing some, if not all of these problems right here. So you're struggling to book at least 5 to 10 qualified calls a week on a consistent basis. You're having to put up with low paying clients who have super high demands. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you have super inconsistent income because you're charging per project. So per video or per shoot or per hour or however you're charging, you're definitely not charging high ticket monthly retainers, which you really want to be, if we're being honest. So why is all of this? Why do you have all these problems? Well, all these problems basically come from the fact that you are not able with your current offer to generate tangible results for your clients. So you might be making their content, but that content isn't directly leading to revenue for their business. And so this is your biggest weakness right now. Well, how do we solve it? So you need to create a hybrid offer. So this is what I mean by that. You have to keep producing your client's content. So editing, filming, ideation, scripting, all that kind of stuff that goes into this. But then you also have to add paid ads and appointment setters that take all of this traffic and convert it into booked appointments for your clients, filling up their calendars, which leads to then your clients directly making more money because they just have to take these calls and close them. And it allows you to charge retainers upwards of $3,000 per month because your clients are getting amazing results all of a sudden. So you're probably thinking, okay, this is cool in theory. We use ads, we use appointment setters, we book calls for our clients, we fill up the calendar, they make more money, we make more money, cool. But how does this actually look like? And that's exactly what I'm going to break down to you as well. So let's take a real life example. Now, let me preface this by saying I have no idea who this guy is. Okay, I just picked somebody random off of Instagram in like the fighting coach niche, I guess. If you're in that, then amazing. Just message this guy right here, but I don't no idea who this guy is. Okay, but this is actually what it looks like. I'm just going to take him as an example. So first, you create organic content. So for a fighting coach, that might be something like fighting tips, techniques, training sessions, all that kind of stuff. So you just like share really valuable stuff about what you're doing and your knowledge basically, and your clients want to follow you. You know, ideal prospects just want to follow you, just want to check out your organic content. And so that's also getting a little bit of traffic into the account right here. You know, you gain more followers from this content, but organic content kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it gets a lot of traffic, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it didn't really. So we can also use PV ads. So those are just profile visit ads. So we run ads that are kind of just organic content, just slightly different, but they're boosted. So actually putting money behind them. You don't have to put a lot of money behind them, but they have the CTA that people should follow you. And what happens from these ads is they get a lot more traffic, 80, 90, 100, 200,000 views, depending on how much money you put into them. And then you get a ton of followers. So now Ricardo, he's getting a ton of followers, and he's a fighting coach, and he has his coaching and his link tree. And what Richie is doing, which is completely wrong, is he's getting all these followers, but then he's waiting for these followers to come to him and message him through his link tree. I don't know, probably like fill out an application to want to work with them. But if Richie really wants to get more clients, more one-on-one coaching clients to help them fight better, he should not wait for these followers to come to him, but he should have an appointment setter in his DMs messaging every single one of these followers and booking them in for appointments proactively. So you're actually going to the followers, you're not waiting for them to come to you. And I'm going to show you how that would look like for him right here specifically as well. So I have an example right here. Cool. So the first message you want to send to his current followers is just to connect. So imagine these people have been following him for a while, right? Because obviously he has a lot of old followers that we haven't messaged yet either, and we can run through them all. Actually, if you start working with somebody like that right now, before even creating a single video, the first week of me and him working together, if I was to work with this guy, would be making him cash immediately by placing an appointment center and booking appointments from his current follower without even having to create a single piece of content. So while your people are signing clients on like a per project basis, and you create a bunch of videos and it takes ages, what we do is we start working with them. We're also going to create content, but in the process of us creating content, while you take a couple of weeks for you to post your first couple of videos with him, we already make him money. Like first couple of days, appointment setters, appointments, he closed some, boom. He already made his money back from working with us. So this is exactly how we would make him money first week, is by, walking all of his followers through this DM sequence right here. So first message is just to connect. So, hey name, say for example, hey John, seen that you followed me a while back. Thought I'd express my gratitude, brother. Happy to have you here. Did you find the content helpful so far? So very organic way of just like opening up a conversation with somebody, and a good way to message his current following, okay, without even having to get any new attention. So the next step, we walk through the qualifying section. So we kind of ask questions like, are you currently fighting as well? Just to make sure that they are even fighting, or, you know, maybe they're just interested in watching fighters. And then, you know, are you just fighting as a hobby or trying to get into it more professionally? Because I feel like Richie is helping people professionally, right? You know, he's saying right here, he's a pro fighter. So then you establish a gap between where these people, you know, where his audience currently is and where they want to be at. So you just ask a question like, oh, what's the next goal you're shooting for in your journey? Or what's your goal with fighting for the new year? You know, make it appropriate to the time that you're reaching out to. I'm currently recording this in November, so that makes sense to say something like that. And then you also establish a need. So after you have the gap, so what's the goal? Well, I want to have my first pro fight. Okay, so what do you feel like is missing for you to get there at the moment? Or what do you think could help you get there faster? Or what do you think you're missing to get there as quickly as possible? You know, you can ask all these questions to figure out what his needs are. And then he says, well, I don't know, man, I just need to have a better trainer. I just need to know, I need to have a better routine, better trainer, more discipline. I don't know, whatever he's going to say, a better plan. And then you're going to ask, well, would you like some help with that? And then you just make the offer and convert them into a call. You know, you say his offer, whatever your client is offering, and then you book them in. If you want, we could talk about this maybe later this week. And then most people are just going to say, yeah, why not? Let's talk about it. And then you just drop the calendar, say, here's my calendar. Just message me once you choose a time so I can confirm real quick. You know, put a little bit of pressure on them choosing a time right now for them to not, you know, do it next week or in 2 days from now. So now you start walking all of these 6,948 followers, so essentially 7,000 leads through this messaging sequence. You are inevitably going to book a bunch of calls. So his calendar is looking somewhat like this now. So all he has to do now is take these calls and, you know, close them, just explain what his offer is, kind of do a sales call with them, and then collect their cash. Now, assuming he's a fighting coach, he's probably not going to collect like super high ticket like payments, you know, but so even if he just collects like 17 of these payments right here within like a 2 weeks time frame, and he closed them at an average of say like $500, you know, some above, some below, like an average of like $500, he'll still be making about $8,500 within the first week or two of us actually starting to work with him. This is undeniably such a better offer to get these people really good results. And so this is what we call the hybrid offer, because we don't just get them attention, but we also, you know, run ads and use appointment setters and a whole bunch of other tools to actually get them calls booked and make them more money. So we get the attention, and then we also help convert the attention. So now you know what to do to get your clients better results and be able to charge higher ticket retainers of a couple $1,000 a month. But you're probably asking yourself, well, okay, cool, but how do I actually book sales calls for myself? And I want to explain that as well. So now to book calls for your new offer, all you got to do is just record 3 to 4 minute personalized Loom videos for your prospects where you share this. You know, you share this offer. You say that they can do this and that you can show them how to do this, and you can go in depth and really give them a ton of value and exactly show them what they're missing out on. Because this guy right here, for example, he's not DMing his following. So even if he would just know how he can approach these people to book them in, there's huge value for him. So you show him something valuable in that call. You do not make a direct offer. Okay, you don't try to sell them in this video. All you do is just give them a shit ton of value. They want to then go ahead and do it. You know, obviously if you give them so much value and it's all kind of like plug and play, why wouldn't they just go ahead and at least try? You know, they try to go ahead and do it. They realize that they can't really do it alone because they don't really know how to get more traffic. The appointment setting, it's cool in theory, you know, you can do it, but then there are a lot of nuances. You get different answers than expected. You get objections. They essentially just fail to implement. They don't actually really know how to do this. They don't know what good ads look like. They don't know how to run them. They have no idea, right? So they fail to implement. And then the only choice that they have is just to come back to you, because you're the only person that can really help them with this, since you were the one that put this idea into their minds. So now they come back to you and ask you, well, this is all amazing, but like how could you help? And how would you go about creating the ads? What would you do if you get an objection like this? So they ask you those questions. So then you use these conversations to just book them in for calls, which is super easy because now these people already know that you have something of value to offer to them. And on those calls, you just have to sell these people on your new $3K a month retainer offer and scale $25K a month. And just to demonstrate how doable this actually is in just 4 months, because it sounds kind of crazy, but it really is doable. So to reach $25K a month, okay, if you're selling at an average of $3,000 per month, you need to sign about 9 clients, okay? Now, signing 9 clients in 4 whole months really isn't that much. You just gotta sign about 2.5 clients a month on average for a whole month. You have a whole month just to sign about 2 clients. Now, to sign 9 clients, you probably have to take around 36 sales calls, right? Because let's say you only have a closing rate of 25%. Hopefully it's higher, but let's say it's not that great, it's only 25%. So you need to book 36 calls. So the question now is, well, how do we book 36 calls? And the only thing you got to do to book 36 sales calls is to just have conversations with people who might be interested and qualified for what you have to offer. And usually it's about like a 20% convo to call book rate. Should be higher than that, but let's just go with low KPIs, right? So with the 20% convo to call book rate, you have to have about 180 conversations. Well, now the question becomes, okay, how do we get 180 conversations going? Well, exactly like this. You send them value, they try, they realize they can't, and then they ask you questions, and from there you get into conversations and book calls from those. Now, the amount of looms that you have to send out to get in 180 conversations completely depends on your actual positive reply rate. If that is 50%, obviously then you have to send like 360 looms. If that is less than that, then you have to send more, but usually absolute minimum should be like 20%. So the absolute maximum amount of looms that you should have to send to get to that point at worst is like 1,000 looms, which if you divide that by 120 days, which is 4 months, is about 8, let's call it 9 looms a day on average. Which say each loom takes you, like the loom is 4 minutes long, but the whole recording and everything takes you like 10 minutes. Then that whole thing would take you about 83 minutes. And if you divide that by 60, which is 1 hour, you have to spend about 1.4, 1.5 hours on this per day. But let's say you take a break or there, here and there, and then, that goes up to like 2.5 hours. Still very doable. I hope that a little bit of math makes sense, but that's really how simple it is to get to that point. Now, if you have any questions on any of these things, just feel free to message me on Instagram right here. Also, go ahead and follow me. It's in the description if you don't yet. Share a lot of value in there. But if you want to ask me any questions, just message me on Instagram. I'll get back to you and I'll answer you. You can send me your looms, you can send me your offers, whatever you want. I'll review them for you. I'll make sure you are on the right path. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Take care. Peace out.